Hi boys and girls, aunties and uncles, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is CK and my channel is Psychology. Normally I only do travels and food vlogs, but today I will be kickstarting my first ever bio series of famous and infamous Malaysian. And who can I better pick to start this series than our latest Prime Minister, because I just voted Man of the Hour, Anwar Ibrahim. Malaysian politics are subjects that no one really likes to discuss, as it is dull and boring, let alone to do a YouTube video on. But one politician has kept us all on the edge of our seats for so many decades. Anwar Ibrahim's Chinese name, Anwar, literally means peace and splendid, but his tumultuous political career is anything but. From prisoner to Prime Minister, this is the story of Anwar Ibrahim so far. Anwar bin Ibrahim was born 10th August 1947 in Sheraton, Bukit Matajam, Penang. Unknown to many, Anwar grew up in a political family. Anwar's father, Ibrahim bin Abdul Rahman, joined politics as the UMNO Member of Parliament for Seberang Perai Central or Tengah in 1959, and also as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Health from 1964 to 1969. His mother, Cik Yan binti Hussein, was a housewife but active in UMNO grassroots politics in Penang. The area of Seberang Perai Tengah, now known as Permatang Pao, will actually in the future play a very important part in Anwar's political career, as the voter of Permatang Pao gave him election victories in a total of 6 general elections. Anwar undertook his secondary education at the Malay College Kuala Kangsar. He was educated at the University of Malaya, where he got a bachelor's degree in Malay studies. In 1974, Anwar was arrested during student protests against rural poverty and hunger. This came as a report surfaced stating that a family died from starvation in a village in Baling in the state of Kedah, which was later demonstrated to be false. However, the rubber tappers in Baling were in fact experiencing severe hardship as the price of rubber dropped in 1974. He was imprisoned under the Internal Security Act (ISA), which allows for detention without trial, and spent 20 months in jail. In 1980, he married Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, who studied medicine at the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, where she was awarded a gold medal in gynecology, and together they had 6 children. She would go on to champion his political cause, becoming the party's leader and then the first female deputy prime minister in his place. In 1982, Anwar, who was the founding leader and second president of an Islamic youth organization called Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia, ABIM, by joining the United Malays National Organization UMNO, led by Mahathir, who had become Prime Minister in 1981. Upon joining UMNO, Anwar was almost immediately became the cover boy and rapidly rose to high-ranking positions with his fiery personality. His first ministerial office was that of the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports in 1983. After that, he had the Agricultural Ministry in 1984 for becoming the Minister of Education in 1986. During his tenure as the Education Minister, Anwar introduced numerous policies in the national school curriculum. One of his major changes was to rename the national language from Bahasa Malaysia to Bahasa Melayu. I don't really know the difference, to be honest. While in this period, Queen Elizabeth II was soon to be having her annus horribilis, Anwar was having his annus mirabilis, as in 1991, Anwar was appointed Minister of Finance, a very important portfolio. During his tenure as Finance Minister, his impact was immediate. Malaysia enjoyed unprecedented prosperity and economic growth. The stock market was at its most bullish, and Malaysia was named by many as the economic tiger of Asia. Shortly after becoming Finance Minister, Euromoney named him as the top 4 finance minister in the world. In 1993, Anwar became Deputy Prime Minister after winning the deputy presidency of UMNO. Well, allegedly, and I have to say the word allegedly so I don't get into trouble, allegedly that did not go well with then the most powerful man in Malaysia, Mahathir Mohamad. Dr M, as most Malaysia call him, and the old horse called by the Chinese community and press, Mahathir had been Prime Minister since 1981 and had numerous times pointed out Anwar Ibrahim as his protege. During 1997 Asia financial crisis, Anwar supported the IMF plan and instituted an austerity package that cut government spending by 18%, cut ministerial salaries, and defer major projects. Mega projects, despite being a cornerstone of Mahathir's development strategy, and were greatly curtailed. 1998 Newsweek magazine named Anwar the Asian of the Year. However, in that year, matters between Anwar and Mahathir came to a head around the quadrennial UMNO General Assembly. The youth wing of UMNO, headed by Anwar's associate Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, gave notice that it would initiate a debate on cronism and nepotism. On 2nd September 1998, Anwar was fired from the cabinet, and many reports state that he was under investigation for sodomy, an act that is very illegal in Malaysia. The following day, Anwar was expelled from UMNO. Anwar was arrested on 20 September 1998 and detained without trial under the country's controversial Internal Security Act, again ISA. The Home Minister at the time was also the Prime Minister. Weeks later, Anwar was charged with corruption for allegedly interfering with the police investigation of him. While he was in police custody in 1998, Anwar was badly beaten by then Inspector General of Police Rahim Noor. The public and the media got a full view of his black eye when he was being brought to the court for the first time. The High Court eventually handed down its decision in April 1999, sentencing Anwar to 6 years of imprisonment for corruption and sodomy. Shortly after Anwar's dismissal by the then Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, the biggest political showdown in Malaysian history was about to unfold. Anwar and his supporters initiated the Reformasi or Reformation movement. It consists of several mass demonstrations and rallies against the long-standing Barisan Nasional coalition government. At the 1998 APEC summit in Kuala Lumpur, the then Vice President of the United States, Al Gore, publicly gave a speech in openly supporting Anwar and his Reformasi movement. Sodomy verdict was partially overturned in 2004, resulting in Anwar's release from prison as he has already served his sentence for corruption offense. We now fast forward to November 2006. Anwar announced he planned to run for parliament in 2008 after his disqualification expired. Anwar was critical of the government policy after his release, most notably the New Economic Policy (NEP), which provided affirmative action for the Bumiputra. Anwar Ibrahim was victorious, of course, in his Pematang Pao by-election held on 26 August 2008, signaling his grand return to Malaysian politics. On 29 June 2008, online news portal Malaysia Kini reported that a male aide of Anwar, Saiful Bukhari Azlan, has lodged a police report claiming he had been sodomized by Anwar. Anwar said that the possibility of a prison sentence as a result of this allegation could be seen as an attempt to remove him from the leadership of the opposition following his growing support and by-election victory. In July 2008, he was arrested over allegation of sodomy again, but was acquitted of the charge in January 2012 by the High Court. The presiding judge ruled that DNA evidence used in the case had been compromised and was unreliable. Fun fact, in 2018, Saiful ran against his accuser Anwar in the Port Dickson by-election. Saiful got 82 votes. 82. Wow. On February 2015, the Federal Court of Malaysia upheld the decision of the Court of Appeal and affirmed the 5 years prison sentence. He was immediately sent to Sungai Buloh prison in the state of Selangor to serve the sentence. After the Pakatan Rakyat's dissolution, during his imprisonment, a new opposition coalition named Pakatan Harapan was formed with Anwar as the de facto leader. He was designated to take over the reins from interim Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad as planned and agreed by the coalition before the 14th general election. However, in late February 2020, the Pakatan Harapan government of Dr Mahathir Mohamad collapsed following defections by Anwar's deputy Azmin Ali and several PKR MPs aligned to him. As all these commotions happened in Sheraton Hotel, this crisis was then called the Sheraton Move. In the 2022 Malaysian general election on 19 November, which I had just voted, Anwar's Pakatan Harapan Alliance won a plurality of 82 seats out of the 221 seats contested, below the 112 seats needed for a majority. However, no other party has enough seats to form a central government. After 5 days of elections and as the whole country held its breath with negotiation going around the clock, on 24th November, 5 p.m. in the afternoon, Anwar was finally sworn in by Malaysia Agong as the 10th Prime Minister of Malaysia. After his decades of trials and tribulation, is Malaysia and even the world ready for a progressive liberal Muslim as head of government? And more importantly, will the coalition Anwar's form held through the next 5 years? My story of Anwar Ibrahim ends right here, but I'm pretty sure this is just the beginning of things to come. And hopefully I get to revisit this video and do another follow-up video. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you enjoy this type of bio content and which Malaysia should I cover in my next bio series. Let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to watch more video of my travel and food vlog, you can click right here. This is Bukit Mertajam, the hometown of our newest Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Please help support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com, and I will see you in my next video. Selamat tinggal!